Hello everyone, and welcome back to the 47th episode of Pandtha Talks. Mark 2.
47 and a half.
Yeah, Mark fucking 2. I forgot to change the settings due to we recorded a video in VR the other day, and I have to change all my audio settings. It's a bit clunky to mess with, but it works.
You know what I'm going to do whenever I move? Is I'm going to get like a secondary mic with a really long lead. I'm just going to hang it from the ceiling or some shit, man.
You know, I think that might be a good plan. The VR video will be releasing probably about Wednesday, midweek time, simply because when we recorded it, I didn't have much time, and this week is a hell of a fucking week for things that have gone on. So, it's a big one.
Yep.
We're not sure how long it's going to be, so we've recorded as early as we can, so that then we can get through it all, and I can do some decent editing on this one. So, fingers crossed. All will
That
go
is
well.
the plan.
Yeah, in theory. So, this
So,
week...
Roy, what do you have lined up for us? Because there's a lot.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't sound much on the surface, but it's going to take us a while to get through.
Yeah, each topic's going to be quite lengthy.
So, to start with, we have the wonderful Games Awards that went off, which I definitely love and do not slightly despise.
Starfield did really well with it.
Oh yeah. Same with Spider-Man 2. Cough, cough. Then we're moving on to GTA 6's reveal trailer, which definitely is a great thing, and we definitely absolutely love it here. And then we'll be going on to Arizona Sunshine 2 to discuss that a little after what we played of it the other day. So you'll kind of get our thoughts now before the video that comes out later in the week, so you can kind of see what we were referencing and talking about.
Yeah, it didn't go well.
Yeah, I might show a couple clips.
Spoiler.
Yeah, I might show a couple clips from that video.
I would say the big bug with the shutter would be the main one.
Yeah.
To show, just to sort of give like an idea of what we dealt with.
Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll go over all that, and yeah, it should be an interesting one. Let's get into this shit. So, as Will already knows, he can already see everything that's on my screen. Because I've already got sharing set up this time, unlike normal when I don't, for some reason.
Oh.
What? Have you just read what's on screen or something?
No, Sam's game crashed, and it looked like Alex's game crashed, and then my game also crashed.
Lovely. Sounds like Rust is going well.
Surely.
Oh yeah, it's wipe day for Will, so he's playing at the same time.
Nothing's happening, so I'm not doing anything.
Oh, even better. So, let's get started on this mess.
Redundancies.
Yeah. So, as we all know, the video game industry for the past year has had a hell of a lot of video game redundancies. Redundancies of staff is what I mean. But yeah, basically what's gone on is there's been multiple redundancies throughout the year, and what I wanted to quickly cover is an article that came out by The Verge claiming that Geoff Keighley, I think it is, great guy actually, really nice person from what we can see and from what he's been like online. He's always been quite a nice bloke. During the Game Awards, Geoff Keighley failed to acknowledge the prolific and devastating layoffs that have rocked the game industry. I only joined Threads last night, so yeah, it's an interesting place, I'll say that much. So, Geoff Keighley let the video game developers down. Why am I going off key? What the fuck, Rory? During the Game Awards, he failed to acknowledge the prolific and devastating layoffs that have rocked the industry. At this point, You at this point, you cannot talk about how amazing 2023 has been for the quality of games released this year without also mentioning how it's been utterly disastrous.
I wouldn't even mention that it's been amazing.
Exactly my fault,
I
but
think all the main thing we've mentioned across this year since we started this podcast is that 2023 has been abysmal.
yeah,
Now, don't get me wrong, there has still been some gems in between it, but it's still abysmal. Like we had a couple good releases, but like maybe like literally three, and otherwise it is just been a sheer decline.
yeah, it's people are trying to make it claim that it's been such a good year for gaming. It truly hasn't.
I wish it had been, man, but
Same.
it's been really bad.
It's been utterly disastrous for the people who made them. But that's exactly what Cayley did during this year's Game Awards. The numbers vary, but estimates say anywhere between 6 and 7,000 workers have lost their jobs this year.
Is it not far higher than that?
From what we saw earlier in the year and what we covered, I imagined it was.
Pretty sure there was one company that laid off probably twice as much as that, if not more.
I do believe so, yes. It
Yeah, I can't,
was.
one of our episodes have like a lot of the details of that in it. I can't remember which one though.
I will, to be honest, future Rory, remember, go and do that. Grab the clip.
But there is a video where we have a good talk about that, and it was a tough topic to be honest, man.
It was quite sad. It really, really was. To say that these people bring so many hours of joy for most of us, to see them suddenly out of work, especially the Bungie one, when they were just told to come in for a meeting and then next thing by email, yeah, you're no longer needed, bye. And the badge was.
It might be episode 43.
I can imagine it being
I'm
so.
having a quick look. From the title, episode 43 would be the most likely one.
Yeah,
If
it
anyone
wouldn't
is
surprise me.
interested.
No level of studio size or success has been spared, and those who have been let go are now being forced to contend for an ever-dwindling number of open job postings. This has been one of the most volatile periods in the game industry in the last 15 years, said the executive director of International Game Developers Association in an interview with Polygon. To be clear, Jeff Cayley isn't responsible for these layoffs, and layoffs are unfortunate, but regular part of this and many other industries. But with the platform Cayley has, he does have a duty to his audience to recognise the conditions under which the games his events celebrate are made. He's done it before. In 2021, when Activision Blizzard was hit with a harassment suit, which we all know about, it was quite a large situation. And he took to Twitter to say that the company wouldn't make appearance on his show, writing on X, "There is no place for abuse, harassment, or predatory practices in any company or community."
Yeah. In fairness, though, like I would say, when you think of the Game Awards, you would think positivity. You know,
Yeah,
if you're gonna, I would expect him to more do like a separate interview per se,
yeah,
to talk about the layoffs. You know, I get that
exactly.
it's definitely a big topic that a person in a position that he is in should definitely be talking about, but you would ruin the Game Awards show if
Yeah,
you talk about it there, because I like it's one thing with the um division problem, like a quick
yeah.
mention just to say they're not going to be there, sure, but to like go on a whole topic of the layoffs, that's really not a good idea, I feel.
No, it would definitely cause some sort of divide in the companies and the staff further than what there already is. And that says a lot, to be honest. I also realised that EA posted in the same thread, he also recognised the power and visibility of his platform. I also realise we have a big platform which can accelerate and inspire change, he posted. We are committed to that, but we all need to work together to build a better and more inclusive environment so everyone feels safe to build the world's best games. His post there, I know it's going to get picked apart, but what I have to actually state with quite a clear image of it, yes, he mentions he has a big platform. He talks about accelerating and inspire change. You cannot change how industries work because you want to inspire it. That is not how this works. People, sadly, will forever be laid off. It depends on how the industry itself is doing.
Yeah.
If you want to talk further about that, you're probably better getting a business degree than a degree in technology or journalism.
The only thing he would do by talking about it as well is basically just making the companies feel more guilt, but it won't change their decisions.
No. That's pretty
As
much it.
we talked about, it's like if the company hasn't hit their targeted revenue for selling this game or that game, then they're technically down on money because they probably overspent on creating the game and stuff like that. And that's why these layoffs happen.
Yeah, no, exactly. Throughout this year's award show, Kaylee and developers spoke about the impact video games have on our culture, as well as their radical ability to change minds and broaden their perspectives. Inasmuch as the show's organisers would allow developers to speak before playing them off, or in one case, cutting them off entirely. Ostensibly, the Game Awards is about celebrating video games and recognising the achievements of the people who made them. By the way, cutting people off or just playing them off, that's usually done because they've got a set amount of time before they have to get moving. And there are some big faces. I mean, if I remember correctly, was it Matt Damon who appeared in the Game Awards the other night to announce a game that he was voicing a character of? Didn't look like my sort of game, personally. It was a RTS. But to the people who do, enjoy it, yeah. And if you got a big name guy like that, you're probably going to want to kind of get pushing through so that you don't lose your spot in which he's supposed to come out. So otherwise, you're probably going to be in some bad books with some higher-ups. Video games don't get made without people, and those people are suffering right now at a heretofore unseen scale. That's a weird word. To not memorialize that at all, even after acknowledging the power of his position, is at best an abdication of the responsibility of his platform, if not outright cowardice. It's a state all the more disappointing since Kaylee has already demonstrated that he does pay attention to the wider video game community beyond hyping up world premieres and paling around with his industry besties and Muppets.
Okay.
Nice way to put it. Yeah,
caught me off guard there.
Yeah, you didn't expect an insult in the last word, did you? But
No.
let's have a quick check. Comments. I don't know, man. Make better games. Sucks you lost your jobs, but come on. Forced politics, undeveloped mechanics, horrible writing, the list goes on. Maybe keep activists out of the industry, although in saying that, how much of this is the higher-ups? All of it. This is why it shouldn't be a committee and more a passionate visionary at the helm. Maybe I'd just like to put this out there, but it's not just because of activism, and you can't just keep an entire set of people out of the industry because of their political views. Otherwise, you're once again forcing politics.
Yeah. Do you have to admit, though, it has to be partially on the developers and the team that works on these games this year, because the games, again, have been so far below par.
Oh, definitely.
You can understand some of the things that have happened, and as much as we try to focus on the positives, there are always negatives, and this year has been a big negative. So I can understand, like, layoffs were destined to happen this year, without a doubt, and more than the average. But I do feel that there may have been quite a lot of cases that were unfair.
Yeah, I
But
fully
unfortunately,
agree.
that's not our decision. We don't get a say on that. That's entirely up to the company.
Yeah. I mean, this person, I feel like, kind of put it reasonably, but not the first sentence. I think was more of a dig. Kaylee is busy making connections, money, and being Kojima's fanboy. I don't see a negative there. Doubtful he gives a care about layoffs. I disagree. Mainly because he does care about the well-being of the gaming industry. But this last bit, he makes a fair point. Swords should be pointed at the companies that continue to value year-on-year growth and cut the workforce even in the face of record profits. That is true. The last bit is spot on. It shouldn't be other people being dragged into the dirt because they didn't talk about this or they didn't do that. It's not their kind of like position to do so. Yes, it's nice if they do, but it's not a mandatory that they need to. What is mandatory is that the companies who do these things take action, so that these things won't happen daftly year after year after year. That's the difference.
It sort of makes you wonder with how the performance of things did go. Like, what did like the higher ups have to do with that to try and change things? You know.
Exactly. How can you make cuts and get rid of people if you're so-called doing really well? On the other hand, if you're doing abysmal, makes sense. Logical option. It's kind of the only option you really have. So, it's a real 50-50. Let's move on to a bit of positivity. So,
Yeah.
the Game Awards 2023 results, all the winners. Now, I need to mention this straight off the bat. This will go over all the choices, all the possible nominations, and then it will give us an answer of what it is. So, what I'd like to just point out, because I know there's a lot of Sony fans at the moment who are kicking up rocks, shall we say, because Spider-Man 2 got nominated numerous times, but failed to catch that top spot on any of these.
Yeah. That video you sent me on TikTok, by the way, that guy was not only annoying me, but that video was far too long. So I watched like the first few
Yeah,
nominations for Starfield, and that was it. Well, there
yeah.
were no nominations rather for Starfield.
No, there were not.
Did they get a single one in the whole thing at all?
No, if you don't get nominated, you can't win.
No, I know. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, did they get a single nomination?
No, don't believe so. So,
That's tough.
Game of the Year award. Alan Wake 2 was nominated, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4.
I know Baldur's Gate 3 got a lot of stuff.
Baldur's Gate 3 got Game of the Year, my friend.
Yeah, and they got a lot of other stuff as well.
Oh, that they did.
I mean, I can't fault it. I didn't play it myself, but the amount of hype around it, everyone was talking good about it. Like they were one of the few that did everything right this year, and
it is
that
a
just
good
made
game.
it even better for them that everything was doing so bad.
Definitely. I mean, The Legend of Zelda: Tears of Kingdom. Sorry. What I was going to say. In this list of 6 games that were nominated, one of them's a remake, which is Resident Evil 4.
They've been doing all the remakes now. They're not really making many new games, are they?
Not particularly, no. Player's Voice Award. Baldur's Gate 3 won that, and that was against Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty, Genshin Impact, Marvel Spider-Man 2, and The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Best Game Direction. Alan Wake 2 took that win, against Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Super Mario Bros. And Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Best Narrative, once again taken by Alan Wake 2, against Baldur's Gate, Cyberpunk, Final Fantasy 16, and Marvel Spider-Man 2. Best Art Direction was taken by Alan Wake 2. Here's a game that you probably forgot came out this year, Will. Hi-Fi Rush was nominated for Best Art Direction.
Yeah.
But, to be honest, it was a damn good game. To say it came from nowhere as well, it was really good. Lies of P, Super Mario Bros. And The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Best Score in Music was won by The Legend of Zelda. Hi-Fi Rush was nominated, Final Fantasy 16, Baldur's Gate 3, and Alan Wake 2. Best audio design was won by Hi-Fi Rush.
Hmm.
Bethesda won one.
You can sort of see a theme here. There were main games in pretty much everything.
Yeah.
I never got the chance to look at Alan Wake 2. I got the first one free.
Yeah.
But I've literally just not got around to it because I've pretty much been ending up finding other things to do.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm sure you know the feeling of like you have a game there, but you just don't feel like it on any day. But
Yep.
someday you will just sort of randomly turn around and start playing it.
I do have them days quite often, sadly. So,
Yeah.
best audio design was Hi-Fi Rush. It was also against Alan Wake 2, Dead Space, the remake, Spider-Man 2, and Resident Evil 4, the remake. 2 fucking remakes in a single category. Best performance: Neil Newborn, Baldur's Gate 3. Congratulations to him.
How do you feel, Rory, about remakes being in this?
Honestly,
Because
I'm not sure.
I feel like it's kind of unfair.
Yeah.
Like if the original of the game had, say, the original of the game had won a couple of awards when it was first made, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And then all they do is take the exact same storyline, maybe tweak a few bits, but it's essentially the exact same thing. Up the graphics, fix some bugs, tweak some storyline pieces, and then whatever else they do in remakes. It's kind of, it feels like they're cheating essentially.
Yeah, I do not like the fact that it's put in for the Game Awards. I do believe it should be recognised. Maybe make a
I'm not
best
saying,
remake category.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm not saying take them out completely because at the end of the day, it's still a game. It's had work put into it, especially with games that people have like loved.
Yeah.
A very beloved game that has been remade and they get the chance to play it again, but even better. But
Yeah.
it should I feel like definitely be put in its own category. It's kind of unfair in a
100%.
sense.
I do agree with that, to be honest. I think that if you're gonna remake and basically just push out again, the reason for most remakes and remasters is because the developers want money. Well, not developers, the companies want money.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much the reason behind it. So why should we have a second one? I don't feel too comfortable with that.
Yeah. Don't get me
Uh,
wrong, some of them have been really good and they are great to be able to replay a game that you loved.
yeah.
I can't remember what it was. There was one that we went over that was a remake and it absolutely blew up. It might have been Dead Space.
I think it was, yeah.
But there were one or two of them as well that did like really well for themselves, and it is
Oh,
great to be
100%.
able to go back and like relive all that nostalgia and replay it again, but slightly different and with like better graphics and all that jazz.
Oh,
But
yeah. I'd agree.
it is unfair in my opinion.
So the best performance was also against Ben Starr, Final Fantasy 16, Cameron Monaghan, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Idris Elba for Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty, Melanie LeBird, Alan Wake 2, and Yuri Lowenthal, Marvel Spider-Man 2. Innovation on accessibility was won by Forza Motorsport, which
How's
I've not.
Diablo 4 up there for that?
I'm not sure, truly. Yeah, it went up against Diablo 4, Hi-Fi Rush, Spider-Man 2, Mortal Kombat 1, because apparently they've got the Xbox issue with the naming scheme and numbers, and Street Fighter 6. Games for Impact.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I have not seen a single one of these names.
No, neither have I. But
I'm very
congratulations
confused.
to Chai, and well done to all the nominations, I suppose. Best ongoing game. Apex Legend was gone up against Cyberpunk 2077 won, and it went up against Apex Legend, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Genshin Impact. Have you noticed every single other one of them was a live service game?
Yeah. You have to give it though to Project Red. They've kept to their word. They're improving Cyberpunk each day.
Mate, have you seen patch 2.1?
I've seen very small bits of it, but not particularly. No.
Ooh, that thing bloody changes a lot.
I did see the TikTok you sent me. Though.
Yeah.
That seems a bit strange.
It
And
does.
it was leaning towards GTA 5 physics, which
I
you and I
thought
had
that
a
was
talk
funny.
the other. Yeah, you and I had a talk about that the other day in our voice chat, and we weren't too happy with it about it.
No, but I thought that was funny that it came out like a couple days later. But the main thing about it is they've added like a load of changes, and a main one being, do you remember Adam Smasher right at the end of the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, that boss fight was way too weak.
Oh no,
Not
absolutely. Like honestly, it should be like multiple phases sort of thing. Like he's literally meant to be like a whole cyborg, and you're just like you put him down so easily.
not anymore.
Good.
And
Honestly,
they've also made it.
you know the girl with the hammer. She was far more of a challenge than he
Oh
was.
yeah, but they've made like changes to quite a lot of boss fights. So basically, like if they're big brute kind of enemies, they're gonna stay close and try and stick to you like glue. If they're
Yeah,
ranged, they're gonna stay as far away from you as physically possible.
yeah.
Makes sense. They've given them like more quick hat stuff like that, made it so that they take less damage and stuff like that. Basically, made it a lot more interesting.
They
Best
they really
community.
have they really have done well with it,
Oh,
and
definitely.
they're still doing more, which is the even better part.
Fully agreed, mate. Best community support. Baldur's Gate 3 again wins. Going up against Cyberpunk 2077, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, and No Man's Sky.
Yeah, their community support was, oh, this thing's frustrating you again. Go throw a child off a bridge.
Yeah,
That'll make you feel better.
definitely. Best independent game. Sea of Stars. Going up against Cocoon, Dave the Diver, Dredge,
So
and
did you say
Viewfinder.
Dave the diver?
Dave the Diver.
Hmm,
I now know
interesting.
where Dave is.
Speaking of Dave, my parents have a cat called Dave.
Oh,
He's white and ginger, and he's quite fat.
that sounds about right for someone called Dave, to be honest.
Just thought you might be interested.
Yeah, definitely. Best debut indie game. Cocoon wins against Dredge, Pizza Tower, Venba, and Viewfinder.
Pizza Tower. Pizza
Yeah,
again, man. What is it with
I'm
pizza?
I'm skipping this next part because it's just fucking mobile games, and Hello Kitty Island Adventure ended up becoming a nominee. So yeah, that sums up how I feel regarding this. Best VR/AR game to release this year.
Okay.
Resident Evil Village VR mode won.
Are you serious?
Yep. Let's go on to the nominees, shall we? Synapse, Humanity, Horizon Call of the Mountain, and Gran Turismo 7.
That's really upsetting.
Yeah, I'd agree, because we've played some really good VR games,
Yeah.
and some of them definitely deserve more attention.
We should take a here. I'll hang on. Stay on that. I'm gonna grab a snippet of that, and afterwards, at some point, I'm gonna send it in our DMs, and we can maybe have a look at them and see if there's anything worth our time.
Sounds like a
Just because
plan.
we are kind of struggling with more
VR
stuff. So
games. Yeah. Best.
honestly, I was fully expecting us to like spend days on Arizona 2,
Same.
and
We'll,
it just if yeah, I'll not get
yeah,
into
we'll
it
get
now.
into that in a little bit. Best action game. Won by Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon. Didn't know that drink had fire in it. Anyways, the nominees were Dead Island 2, Ghost Runners 2, which by the way I really enjoyed that game, Hi-Fi Rush, and Remnant 2. Best action adventure game. Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom won against Alan Wake 2, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, and Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Legend of Zelda come out this year.
Yeah, it did. The new one, anyways.
Yeah, I didn't even know. I thought it
Yeah.
feels like it was so long ago.
It does, doesn't it? Best RPG. Oh, Bethesda did get a nomination. Best RPG.
For Starfield?
Yeah. Best RPG. Baldur's Gate 3 won against Final Fantasy 16, Lies of P, Sea of Stars, and Starfield.
I'm sure they probably just needed a filler, to be honest, man.
Ouch.
No, I'm not sure. I feel like
I
the
know.
problem with Starfield, man, it was meant to be so much more than what it was.
Yeah,
And I feel like they just got lazy with it.
it does feel that way, doesn't it? Best fighting game. I hate fighting games.
Yeah. Like
Street-
melee fighting, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit boring.
Street Fighter 6 won against God of Rock, Mortal Kombat 1. This feels like it sums up how I feel about fighting games, because this is in the same category as the rest. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2. And Pocket Bravery. Because, yes.
Getting messed up, watching Kratos getting messed up by SpongeBob, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Best Family Game. Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Won against Sonic Superstars, Pikmin 4, Party Animals, and Disney Illusion Island.
There was no way Mario wasn't going to win something, dude.
Exactly. Best sim slash strategy.
One of the most beloved franchises
out there.
Yeah.
It just is.
You take the top spot majority of the time, I would say.
Yeah. Pikmin 4 won against Fire Emblem Engage, Company of Heroes 3, City Skyline 2, and Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp, so once again a remake. Best sports slash racing game. Forza Motorsport won against F1 2023, EA Sports Football Club 24, Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged, and The Crew Motorfest. Best multiplayer game. Notice how Modern Warfare 3 is not on this list.
I mean, in fairness, it's only been out for like a month. And when did this happen? Like 2 nights ago?
2 nights ago. Yeah. So yeah, they had time. Baldur's Gate 3 won against Diablo 4, Party Animals, Street Fighter 6, and Super Mario Bros.
For multiplayer, Diablo.
Best adaptation. This is talking about series. The Last of Us won against Castlevania, Gran Turismo, the Super Mario Bros. Movie. I quite enjoyed that film. And Twisted Metal.
It was a bit weird.
You and me watched it, actually, didn't we? Because we watched it while you were around here.
We watched it when we came over.
I actually quite enjoyed it.
It was a bit strange, but it was.
It was. Most anticipated game. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Blows my mind that Final Fantasy are still going.
Same. Won against Hades 2, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Star Wars Outlaws, and Tekken 8. Content Creator of the Year was won by Iron Mouse. I'm kind of going to skip the esports athlete stuff, but we'll just talk about the game that won Best Esports Game. Valorant. Against PUBG Mobile. How the fuck is a mobile game on that list?
What? That's a filler. You cannot tell me that's not a filler.
It's got to be. Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, and League of Legends. So, once again, as I said, I'm skipping the esports stuff, and that's it.
That's actually the end of it.
Fantastic. Even better. So, yeah. There was actually a lot of game announcements. There were 21 minutes worth of it. The only ones I found interesting was Kojima has announced a new game called OD. There's no gameplay trailer, but it's interesting. Because it's Kojima, and he's a mental patient, pretty much. And I'd say Jurassic Park Survive, which has intrigued me. It's set the day after the first film, and from back in years and years ago. And it's a survival-based game, and it just sounds like something quite interesting due to come, I'll be honest. I'm kind of excited on that one.
I'm sure we'll get more of a look into it later on in the new year.
So, we'll quickly mention this because this riled me up to no heaven. So, as we all kind of expected, with GTA 6 releasing, yes, it's not coming straight to PC. We're going to have to wait again. Because that's what we do. We wait and we know things.
And we'll just emulate it like 2 weeks after.
Yeah, pretty much.
Not that you heard that from me.
No, not at all. So, Mr. Zuby Tech, trying to call out the PC community with the hashtag PC Master Race group. And basically, it was just showing, yes, it's not coming to PC straight away. We all knew. Someone put, thank you for the beta test, trying to take the piss out of us, and he put, you're most welcome. But it was one comment in particular that kind of did me in. This guy called Darkborn So, now all the PC Master Race fools who were screaming that no one needs a PS5 Pro need a PS5 Pro. Funny how that works. To start with, what the fuck makes you think I'm going to go out and get a PS5 Pro? Fuck
I
that.
can see very few PC players getting a PS5 Pro just to play GTA.
No.
Especially after that trailer.
Exactly. But we'll discuss that in a moment.
Look right above that comment, though, Roy.
Console 30 FPS race. PC will be the best version, like always, lol. Correct. Yeah, they've been screaming about it forever. Didn't GTA 5 take like 2 years to release on PC, so that means 2027 for them. Yes, but Red Dead Redemption 2 took a year. So, is that exactly accurate? We'll see. Then there's this guy. PC blokes cooked, they gotta buy a console, LMAO. The thing that I don't understand about these people is they can't comprehend the idea that we can actually wait. Like, waiting is a part of life. Patience is a fucking virtue.
So me and Rory discussed this quite a bit, like the trailer mainly, and we skimmed over these couple of comments. One of the things that we agreed on is like anything that happens like this where PC has to wait. PC players are sort of just like, oh, that sucks, but whatever. Like we don't really care. We have so much more we can do and such a vast amount of things we can do with those. Whereas if the roles are reversed, so say take Starfield for example, and how it's PlayStation just don't get it. The uproar from the PlayStation community is crazy. They were furious. Now, don't get me wrong, Starfield turned out to be nothing of what it should have been, but like it's just crazy how they act.
Pretty much, it's really, to be honest, pathetic how fanboyism can do this stuff, and I really struggle with seeing it sometimes. It just does my head in. But let's discuss GTA 6. The trailer is released. What we're going to do is we're going to go through this trailer and we're going to discuss it. Because, yes, we have torn it apart privately. And yes, we have enough to say about this to last a full fucking episode alone. But we don't want to do that. So we're trying to hold off.
It would certainly be a spectacle to behold what me and you would get up to.
So, with all said and done, let's go through this.
Oh no. I'm scared,
We knew
Rory.
it was coming.
I'm scared.
Actually, I'm going to turn on the audio briefly because I don't want it to fucking kill itself.
Yeah, let's not blow our eardrums up either. Is this music okay?
That's a good question. But you know what?
Just came to mind.
You know what, mate? I don't need to worry about it. We don't earn money from these episodes anyways.
Fair enough.
You know why you're here. Bad luck, I guess.
I just need to quickly check something. Right, here we are. So let's put this up. 1080p. So, anything to say so far, Will?
Well, I mean, the quality of the buildings.
Yeah, that is one thing we paid attention to quite a lot.
Like off the get go, they do show off like what it's going to be capable of with the population and the amount of entities. But when you take just a slightly closer look, you start to see the quality of a lot of stuff that's like just a bit further away.
Yeah,
that is the main thing that we did talk about. You're right.
If you look to the right side of this, the little
I can see your mouse, by the way.
Oh, fantastic! So
I don't know why.
I'm fine with it. You see these little black blotches that are supposed to be balconies.
Obviously, the smaller building to the left is what's getting me. That's just mesh.
Yeah,
and that's not that far away.
No, you can see also some bits over here. It just doesn't look right. Yes, rendering is a factor. Yes, it will always be. But you need to make the things that are at a distance still look appeasing to the eye. You can't just kind of ignore it, even for a trailer like this. And to consider, Red Dead Redemption 2's trailer, the one that I remember most when I first remember it being announced, was a 15-minute gameplay trailer. Going over the mechanics and what you can do.
I keep getting more and more TikToks coming up of just how alive Red Dead 2's world is.
Oh
Of
yeah,
just these
it's
small things of
phenomenal.
people hammering in nails, making train tracks, the whole lot. It's
Oh yeah,
crazy. It's like so
decomposing
in depth.
bodies.
It's so in depth. It's crazy. It's so cool to see.
Yeah, it really is. So that's all I care about.
Yeah,
I
Swerve is
said
very
this to him.
adamant that this vehicle is the only thing he wants. It's the
I
only
just
reason
want,
he's gonna touch this game.
yeah, I just want basically. I'm hoping that someone's going to be able to like remove the back, and that way I can just stuck people up as I go past.
Small
Yeah,
masochism.
we pointed something out here, and it still feels dumb. This guy's taking a picture of his. I'm imagining his partner bending over and wiggling, shall we say? It's an interesting idea.
Oh, no, no. I thought there was a person T-posing in the right. No, they're just getting sprayed down.
Yeah.
Caught me off.
But we spent a little time on here actually when we were discussing last, and some of these things just they do not fit correct. It just riles me to see. We're 22 seconds in. We've stopped the video twice, and it's literally just us going, "Why the fuck does this graphically look so bizarre?" Oh, we'll see if I can find the. Oh, what a time to pause.
And
So,
this
Will,
is
how
Rory's
flat does this
favourite
background bit look?
extremely.
Why does this bit here look like it's fucking... The textures have basically died on it, and that we can see through the building? It looks like you can see into the rooms that are there.
Yeah. So
Oh.
we picked this image apart quite a lot. There's just a
Literally,
lot of stuff that didn't really make sense.
no. All the lighting in the distance. Will said it looks like depth of field is on.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, but that's definitely not what's causing it.
No. It's just... The lighting is obviously a bit screwed. I mean, just in general at this point. Just... How can this look... When you've got a game like GTA 5, where you can still see all this from a distance, and yeah, it might look a bit flat at times. That was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
This is 10 years of development. How can you... Like, it's like a fucking downgrade at times. And even as you get closer, it doesn't look as though it's improving. It stays the same. Ugh.
Yeah.
Hey, well, do you want to talk about your favourite thing?
How about your cargo container?
Yeah, about ships and trying to show where they're coming from.
And that boat on the right, to the right of the top wing of the plane, how it came from where it's coming from.
Yeah. And why there's pretty much no fucking point apart from a stunt jump for this entire bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, we covered all this in grave detail.
It just seems like they've put a lot of stuff in that makes absolutely no sense. Now, I'm not saying everything in a game has to have meaning, but they've maybe stretched it out a little further than needed.
Yeah. I mean, when when people are playing, maybe there's reasons for all this. Maybe it'll make sense. But
We
from the
didn't get
trailer,
any gameplay footage though, so we don't really know.
exactly. Once again, depth of field, can understand. That's why things look a bit blurrier in the background.
Yeah.
But dear God, I just feel like I'm looking at Los Santos. Yes, as people probably have known, it's set in Vice City. This was probably the most amusing thing for me. If alligators are just going to randomly wander around, I'm going to die 70 times.
Like AFK
Also-
for 2 seconds to take a drink, and then all of a sudden there's an alligator just chomping down on you.
Yeah, Exactly.
Free dinner.
Delightful. But it does look like they've got this sort of social media system. Guess we'll see. Yeah. Every time I go to pause, once again, this is what I care about.
Yeah, that will be thoroughly entertaining to see.
Alligator walked into the shop. Why? Because I can.
We just
Body
wanted a
cam
coffee.
footage.
Yeah, we were very confused over seeing this. My only guess is going to be a cutscene, because I can't see them having that kind of gameplay. And also,
No.
you're a cop. Like, the last thing you're going to be in a GTA game is a cop. If you're going to end up being a cop, then I'm questioning where they're going with this.
Yeah. Yeah. These. Let's just say there's certain parts to this game where, from just this trailer alone, that kind of make you go, what exactly is the reason for this? What are you trying to advertise to us, apart from, obviously, batshit insanity for a GTA game, which we know. But as you said yourself, Will, it seems like they're going to try and bloody go Saints Row style of just bullshit. Which is difficult, because Saints Row, sadly, no longer is about. Sad times.
Yeah.
They fucked up badly. It's definitely GTA's version of Florida. But that's all I can say.
Yeah. Hasta la vista, baby.
Oh dear. Well, we're back anyways. I'm keeping that in just to fuck with you.
Sure. Right.
So this is now where we start to slowly get into basically bits to do with the story, which, to be honest, I'm not really too bothered about. People have apparently been picking these things apart, trying to show, oh look, this links back to this game, this links back to that. But, okay. What's
Yeah.
that matter? I think it was this that people were looking into.
I don't really see GTA games being linked to each other for any specific reason other than coincidence.
Or pretty much just because the developers want to go, look at this.
Yeah.
See, we remember.
They're all such different characters in almost every game.
Yeah. And this is the Bonnie and Clyde situation that people were on about. But yeah, it's coming 2025. To be honest, we've just kind of skimmed through in comparison to what we were doing the other night, but it's because there's just so much that you look at it, and 9 times out of 10 it's something graphical.
What's with the color theme of the umbrellas and chairs and stuff? The blue, yellow, and pink. Like,
yeah, it's a bit weird.
When you just realise.
Probably to split it up into categories, like. But yeah, graphically, not the greatest, I will be honest. Mechanically, I'm intrigued by a lot of it. I can't see it being as simple as, oh yeah, it's going to work like GTA 5. Not with what they're showing off. There's some stuff that I think really needs to be looked into further. Yeah. But hey, that's just what I think. So, now we get to talking about the fun thing, Will.
Arizona?
Yeah.
I'm so upset, man. I was so looking for that.
It was supposed to be such a great game, but sadly, due to, I don't even know what, I'd imagine maybe developer constraints or something. Let's just say that there was moments when we were going through in which, like, the guns wouldn't push the ammo in. You had to push it in really fucking far for it to
I was having to, like, I like the way they do that, but I don't at the same time the way they, like, snap your hand into a certain position so it actually looks like you're probably putting a mag in. It's cool, but it never works very well.
No, exactly.
But the main issue was I don't know about you, but there were times I had to push my hand that was holding the magazine above my hand that was holding the gun for the magazine to fully go in.
Yeah, there was. I'll actually see. I'm not sure if I'll be able to show it, but there was a couple clips where I had to do exactly that. You know what? I'll reshare my screen. I've taken out the audio, so we're not going to be sitting with the issue of, oh yeah, well, we've shown you something. No. You guys are not going to hear what we have to say yet. But I was basically taking some pot shots while Will was going to try and find some stuff. Sadly, something happened. Will, the poor bastard, randomly died. But yeah, you can see the kind of how far I had to pull that up.
I died through the door at one point.
Yeah.
Through a door.
I'm trying to find the bit where you and me tried to... Oh, here it is.
Oh, the shutter.
Will had an idea. We came into this room.
Context first, Roy. There's the door you're meant to go through. You shoot the lock off. Bunch of zombies come out. One of them's like a big, fat cop. And there's a lot of them. You need to kill them. We died in the first time, so I suddenly had this idea when we were going past it again, because there were a lot of them.
I think it should be like in the next couple of seconds. You can see how quickly we were moving around to try and like set things up and stuff.
Yeah, but essentially, here you go. Here's you closing the doors.
You can see
Roy closed the doors. Yeah, it's a bit strange.
Fucking
then
sit. There we go.
So Roy closed the doors, and then I told him to grab the shutter. And when we were ready, I shot the lock off the door, and then I just ran over, and he would close the shutter. So there's the zombies coming through. Scared of me running. And this is where we found something quite interesting.
I had to run backwards when I saw this. The shutter just starts pulling.
Yeah, two of them just phase through there entirely, and the shutters are just freaking out. What gets me though is when you first come to this area, there's zombies on the side of the shutters that we're both standing on, and this isn't happening.
Corpses.
Yeah, this isn't happening when you first come to this area and there's zombies there. So the fact that it started happening when they came on the other side blows my mind.
Yeah. I mean, there's also the fact that I'm apparently that bad of a shot. Every shot I took seemed to hit them fucking bars. Jesus Christ. The crafting seemed a bit boring, to be honest.
Yeah, and when you're playing a game like this, and you're finding the stuff that you need to craft, in my opinion, it should always be shared inventory for those kind of items. And that reminds me as well, we couldn't drop each other ammo.
No.
In the first game, you could drop ammo. If you were holding a gun, you could just keep emptying your mag out, reload it, drop the mag out again to give your friend ammo if they had like no ammo and you'd found tons.
Yeah, I managed to glitch it as well, as you can see there.
Yeah. It might be because we both did it at once.
Oh,
that's how you were doing it. I was putting it back into my pocket and it would work.
Oh. There we go. Yeah, we were just discussing the logistics of this bit, because we didn't know what we were supposed to do.
Yeah, there was also randomly 4 grenades in that drawer that we didn't notice.
We had a lot of weird moments, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, I also found out how to get fall out of the map. It was very fun.
Oh, didn't you just? I can actually go back to this, because we replayed on the second time so that I could host. Where is it? It should be about here.
Yeah, you're at the area. Jump forward a little bit.
Yeah. So you see Will is there.
So it turns out
likes to play.
Yeah, it turns out you can launch yourself with momentum when you're on a climbable object. For example, what Roy just did there.
Yeah.
And those bars he's climbing, if you throw yourself to the back left, you can throw yourself out of the bounds that like pops you back into the playable area.
I think this is the bit where you
fall through the map entirely.
Yeah, this is the reason the first fucking clip, the first bit basically that I'm having to put together, ended up having to wait because I have to clip them together. Yeah, I think this is where he's gone.
I think I just left.
No,
it warped me up.
At the top. I can't like skip properly either because I knew for a fact you'll just do it. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, that's where you're trying to kick me.
Oh, here it is. So off he goes.
Oh my God.
That was all I could see, mate. Did just you randomly disappear from existence?
you just fall indefinitely, and it just gets glitchier and glitchier and fuzzier until your being disappears entirely, but you still continue to fall.
Now, I'm going to say something that might sound a bit, like, bizarre, but it genuinely felt better to play this game as a melee game than it did a shooter.
Yeah, the guns were not that fun. They were more annoying, especially if you had tutorials on. It would continuously just randomly give you a tutorial on how to reload your gun, which Roy pointed out. It turns your hands into controllers,
Yeah.
which then throws you off entirely because you don't know where the hitboxes are because it's a controller and not a hand.
Yeah.
But
I
it just made it generally annoying.
I think I had a bit of that, actually. I'm just trying to find it. I think it was about here. Not sure. But yeah, basically, it just turns your hands into controllers, which made it fucking aggravating to figure out.
Yeah.
The climbing felt reasonable.
I mean, there wasn't really much to it.
No, it's grab, drag, grab, drag, grab, drag.
Yeah.
That's kind of how the climbing works. But honestly, yeah, Will's just doing his dumb shit, as always. This bit probably won't be in the video in the end, because
No.
I'm having to basically... This is just us playing about. What I did find interesting, though, if you destroyed your melee weapon, you keep a hold of the handle, and you can put the handle in your gloves.
Yeah, when you're in your loading area, it just refreshes it for you.
Yeah, just rebuilds it back to full
The
health.
machete seems like the only good melee weapon, though. I find a cleaver, and it broke after only a couple of kills.
I got along with the shovel well.
Hmm.
Yeah. That was one of the glitches.
Okay.
Yeah, there was some interesting points, but...
I'm glad I got to see that from your POV.
Yeah, honestly, mate, there's some bizarre ones. I mean, it's like... I think it was about just after this bit. No, wait, it weren't. It's got to be before.
Do you remember when the dog jumped at the guy in the van and I just blasted the zombie with the two mags instead of letting the dog kill him? That was funny.
I think it's actually about here where you ended up fucking flying off. And I didn't see you on my screen. I just saw where your name tag turned up. Which is always interesting, because you'll see this in a second.
Don't get me wrong. I'm never one to complain about ragdoll physics.
No.
Jesus Christ.
But this is what happened. And it was amusing. Oh yeah, that was the controller bit. It turned my hands into the controller because I wouldn't give him an order. And it's very difficult to see what you're doing and where.
Yeah, and it looks ridiculous because the guns are there as well.
Yeah. As you can see, I was basically just like struggling there just to pull back, get everything sorted. He was like, "Now what the fuck?" So I just pulled melee out in the end and went, "Oh, okay." Put that in my hand. Off I go. It must have been on the first recording you flew off.
Yeah, because you flew off from me first, and then now you happen to be like 5 minutes after. But it definitely needs a lot of work done.
Yeah, to get it back to the
standard. Oh yeah, you were showing me this arm, and it wasn't there for me.
Oh, wasn't it?
Nope, the arm was all the way at the top of the ramp where it originally was, like where the van used to be.
Yeah, that's what it shows for me when I'm dead on this.
Yeah,
but for me, I don't see the red. For me, it was just it was just grayed.
Yeah, sometimes I would see it.
So yeah, seeing it bright red is actually kind of a bit weird. Oh. Yeah, this is some other bits I was struggling with. Like sometimes it just wasn't.
What bugged me if you use your right hand to take the gun from your left holster, it would move the gun in your right holster to your left holster.
Yeah, but that's what I was trying to do, to be honest. So that didn't bother me too much. But they just need like a button that you can press to just switch what weapons in what holster.
I mean, if there wasn't so much teleporting, like the guns would teleport back to your holster if, like, depending on like where you let go of them.
Where is that?
Really annoying.
I think it's about here. Where no, it was on the first episode.
It feels like there's a lot of freedom has been taken away from what you can and can't do, and it's really annoying.
This was pretty much just speedrunning. So we got back to where we needed to be within about 25 minutes. That's speed running.
Well, we
So you-
still did a little bit of dicking around.
Oh yeah, we always do.
I think we
dicking.
were caught on the pipes for 10 minutes because I was trying to throw myself around.
Yeah. I mean, it just did not feel as good as it should have been. The end here of this hour long is basically where we sit and discuss for a bit about what our thoughts are. You'll hear that more in depth because that was us on the day. And yeah, pretty much 9 times out of 10, you'll just see some random smoke coming out of my character's mouth because I'm constantly smoking.
What annoyed me is when we died fully.
Yes.
I would be there with a full inventory of pistol rounds, which is 150, and I would respawn with only 40.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I wouldn't have the full 150, but I definitely had more than 40. I think on multiple occasions I had around 100 rounds, and I would spawn with 40.
Yeah.
So all the ammo I would have
Something
picked up
like that.
before that is just gone, and there's only like 2 extra mags up ahead, which we have to split between the two of us.
Yeah. See, the other weird thing is, obviously, you guys are seeing this clip from my right eye. You can't see my position from my left. So, you guys are missing like an entire clip of what's going on.
It is a bit annoying the way VR records.
Yeah.
Suppose
This
it's
is just
a
the
bit tough.
screen. But apparently there is a way around it, but I just don't know what that is. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty much what happened with our time with Arizona Sunshine 2, sadly. And if anyone does have any like suggestions for VR games or anything else, feel free to let us know. I'd definitely be intrigued.
Yep,
But-
we're always happy to play some VR.
Oh, 100%. But sadly, we get games like that sometimes, and we just have to move on.
Yeah.
But that, to be honest with you, is all I have for this week. Trust me, there was many other things that could have popped up, but I thought keep it nice and steady, because this has already been an hour and 1 minute. Imagine if I added anything else.
Yeah.
Would not have been a good plan. But yes, next week is... Oh, next week's my last week of work, actually, before Christmas. So, yeah. I'll be nice and free, so you might see some very different editing next week's episode. Or probably the week after's. Because that way I'll have all week to kind of fuck about with it.
Nope.
But yeah. With that all said, is there anything you'd like to add, Will?
Nothing I can think of.
No worries at all. Well, with all that then, thank you all for watching. We hope you have all enjoyed. If you have, feel free to like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. And if you have any suggestions or any ideas, please feel free to leave them in the comments. We pretty much do like anyone who can give us ideas. We do appreciate
As much as
it.
we mentioned VR games too, we also do still play desktop.
Oh, yeah.
We're always down for some co-op games, so I'm always gaming as well.
Bonding ambivalent.
So,
That
yeah,
game is
anything
something else.
anything of the sorts. We'll always
Still-
at least have a look into it and see if it'll be worth the time.
Still so gutted we didn't record playing that.
Yeah, but the circumstances were a bit strange, so
Oh yeah, it was a bit odd. But it's definitely a game I'd like to replay eventually.
Yep.
But anyways, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all next time. Bye for now.
have a good one, guys.